We're going to try this again. Welcome. The live has kept crashing. So, more specifically, it was giving me the spinning wheel. On the last reading that I was doing, the song that was playing mentioned a hex, somebody sending a hex, spell work, and then the live started spinning out. I'm getting angel waves, and I just prayed. I tried to reboot it a bunch of times, it wouldn't go. I did just pray for protection, and God wants me to finish this message. It's these karmics who didn't want me to. And while I was waiting for this to reboot and reset, I went to grab a bowl pack, and I found that card from the last live or two that goes with this one. I've had to split this one into 3, which I'm not mad about. They were really getting long anyway. But I mentioned this card. You know, I heard Mayday Parade today also. Close up camera one as the hero dies in this scene. Your inspiration is the loss of absolutely everything. Flashback on the girl as we montage every memory. And we bleed on in the bathroom sink. You're like a black cat with a black backpack full of fireworks, and you're gonna burn the city down right now. Whoa, whoa. Mayday. So there are alarm bells being sounded. Light workers getting retribution and justice and help and support the way that they should be and should have been. And also karmics who now know that the ships that they stole are sinking. So that's quite interesting. The live just crashed again. Now I did anticipate having to reboot it, but it didn't make me. And just let me resume this one. Seemingly without problems this time, so that's good. But just over here breaking a little bit of a fast. Finishing up. Somebody said, "What are you eating?" I had a couple of pickles. And this is my second date. It tastes like caramel. Nature's caramel. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of a blackout really quickly to finish this. There's not much to do, at least for now. Only because this needs to charge now. And I can't have it propped up over here while charging from the bottom. So financial loss from their intentions. These people will be taking financial losses. Ears ringing came out, and so I have been getting downloads on this. Send love and light, and it will disrupt their whole world because they're used to negativity. And that came out. They're toxic. Move in silence. Oh, that one came out already. When shit hits the fan, this person will be ghost. trying to hate on your psychic gifts, but really they're envious of your authenticity and for following your own path and not caring what others or they think. An enemy wanting to get close with you in order to gain something to hurt you. But you are their karma. Do what you need to. Speak the truth. They regret it but refuse to show it came out. And when the live crashed, or when I had to reboot it a moment ago, one of the plagiarizers, actually the one that these particular cards are on, she's called herself Peb's Got the Tea or Chi Town Tarot. I was called earlier not to speak on this, but now I'm being called to speak on it. I am being called to wait a little bit for that other one for some reason. Hold on. Yeah, I know why. Move in silence. Overactive solar. So they regret their choices. I picked that up earlier. They are shooketh to the core. They might not want you to show it, but they're bothered. I don't anticipate these videos getting traction, very much traction for some reason. If they do, this one would surprise me. But that's not what this is about. It's never about that. It's about speaking the truth and making sure that the truth is out there. And if God wants the traction to be put behind it, then it will. But this may not need to go out. In some cases, the messages that are spoken sometimes are for a very small group of people or even one person. Sometimes I'm actually called to take readings down. I'll get a general reading or something that comes up, but it's for like one person or one small group of people, and I'll leave it there, and then all of a sudden I'll get a download about taking it down because it's not in the way that the karmics try to do when they're scared of the truth coming out. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that there is a message for somebody, especially when it's not a common one. It's a very targeted one for somebody specific, whoever it's for, wherever it's coming from, whatever ancestor or holy angel, divine. There's a karmic male trying to invade my space. He thinks this is funny. I don't know why he thinks it's so funny. His mother's a Catholic and he's not in favor of the divine. It's because he says he doesn't believe in it. But yes, he does. He's scared. He says that now, but really it's ego because he's scared of what might be there after he dies. He doesn't want to take accountability for the karma that he's facing and the damage that he's done. It's like a scary thought to have to acknowledge, oh geez, karma's real, and then have to think about all the crappy things you did to people and how that might come back to you on the backfire. So he'd rather not. He'd rather just try to laugh and mock when it's not funny. Yeah, he's not laughing now. I heard that. That's anxiety. No. A deep, guttural, anxious swallow. Heard that. But anyway, this particular plagiarizer popped up on my feed when this live had to be rebooted a few minutes ago. And another video forced its way in. And it said something about 1010. She wrote the numbers 1010 in it, but that came out in this reading actually. And how, what was it, like things weren't going to go in her favor or something. Twelve, 1010 was another one I saw somewhere in here. But yeah. And I notice that happens sometimes. It's not the organic numerology thing. Yes and no. This one in particular, like Katie Emmett. Or they're very mad. Which is another one of these plagiarizers on this list. But she's doing spell work. I'm picking that up. She wants me to be quiet. That's a no for me, ma'am. I return all of that to sender and then some times infinity, and I bind her to all her energy. Divine providence and intervention. And so had the live not crashed when it did, I wouldn't have gone to check that. But Katie Emmett claims that she kept seeing 555s and this and that. And the fives were coming up in relation to 1111. I just saw on the count. These situations, her being exposed and these cycles closing. 4 and 555. So 5 and 4 sequences. But what they were indicating is the truth coming out, new directions being created as change was brought forth away from these crappy people and situations. Thank you for sharing that with me. I love you. And I really loved seeing that. So I appreciate that. It's good. That was nice. Feel free to show me more. That was very cool. And I'm open to that. Thank you. It's lovely. So, they cannot cause you to miss out on an opportunity. They wanted to. They like others to be miserable too, so they can feel better about themselves. Do not let this person back. Sending you dark demons and spirits to work against you or trick you. I told you, someone's doing black magic. Yep. Also, STDs, infections, UTI, infertility. So I also picked up the womb magic in one of the last lives. I think the last one or the one before that. Sudden loss of memory, things end up missing. It's a trickster spirit. I told you they're trying to send crown chakra and third eye attacks. 1, because they want people to be oblivious to what they're doing. And also 2, because it's retaliation for people knowing what they're doing and calling them out. They want to be able to get away with it. It's an attempt to cloak themselves on levels. But it's not cloaking, it's attacking. Basically, they want to... You know what it's giving, ma'am? Spiritual Jeffrey Dahmer. Peb's got the tea. It's giving spiritual Jeffrey Dahmer. It's giving, hey, let me drill a hole in the side of your head and pour muriatic acid in it to melt your brain so that you can't think straight or know what I'm doing or that I'm stealing from you or call me out on it. You can go sit the fuck down. Chi-town. 1322. I'm coming back on screen for this. The battery dies. The battery dies. But you're going to cut that shit out. So this is a coworker's two-face. It's not a coworker. Somebody thought they'd be a business rival. Oh, told you the cloaking spells, glamour magic. But they're their own worst enemy. Person causing you negativity is an earth sign, or it's somebody that is attached to an earth sign. One of the people who sent the chaos magic that this person picked up on is an earth sign. Pyrite, but there's protection here. Like I said, I'm super excited to go to sleep. So dream protection. They're being cleansed out. Thank you, Archangel Michael. I love you and holy team. See, told you. Dealing with body envy, insecurity issues, jealousy. Well. Yeah. I'm being told to step away from this loser. Which is perfectly apt and suitable. They're being cleansed out. This is somebody who will have unexplained body pain issues. It's like voodoo doll. This is probably somebody playing with voodoo, or the intent is the same. Cloaking. They wanted to cloak themselves. No, there's protection here for my light workers and I, though. Tell me, what spells? Let's clean the station, shall we, first? Okay. Light some more Paolo while I'm here. It's raining outside. I hear it, by the way. I noticed it earlier. Didn't say anything, though. I hear broke the spell. She broke the spell. How did she do that? It was a strong spell. I'm stronger than you are. And I have divine support and you don't. Those will go on the same one. Return all that to sender now. My ears are ringing now too. Oh, hand in the hand and also the stomach. She's not feeling well or won't be. I also mentioned in a Mexican reference earlier. It was coming up like some of these karmics trying to do womb magic, or more specifically fertility magic, to block divine feminine from having kids, to block the twins from coming together, to block them from having spirit babies that God wants them to have together. And there's a spirit baby, especially with a past life. It's probably a family tied to each I keep saying Egypt almost, yes, but also Mexico on levels. All right. Karmic is confused as to why it's taking so long. I've had a lot of decks out here. Not that it matters, but it wasn't a terrible question on that one. It was not asked in a nice way. It was kind of like, oh, why is it taking you so long? Because that's just who the karmic is. But because I've had a bunch of decks out here, as you can see, a whole bunch. That's the wrong box. Or there's not enough in there. Your confidence triggers them. And they all got mixed up together, so rather than put the wrong ones in the wrong boxes, we take the time to make sure it's properly organized. And Karmic's like, well, why don't you just do that later? Because I need the space to read on the counter right now. And I need it to be organized to do it. Or would like it to be organized to do it. Right now, you've cluttered up the energy enough. I'm cleaning it out. But I have a better question for you. Why do you care so much? So, not a terrible question, but definitely ask better ones. Archangel Michael protection just popped out. They envy your persona and personality. They wish they had the same opportunities coming your way. They try to stir the pot and turn others against you. Envy your physical appearance. I know. I know. I know. I know. Are you mad? I hear a body like a back road. And I know every curve like the back of my hand. Yeah, it's trying to stir the pot against you. I'm mad because you told the truth about me. Now people hear it. Now people won't want to come to me. Now they won't trust me. Now they'll think I'm copying you. Now they're not going to book readings with me. That's why I'm going to suffer financial. Well, you were taking from other people. Those weren't your finances. See, these people, it's that thing where they start building a business on someone else's stolen work or energy, and they get used to that, and so they think they're entitled to it, but they never were. It was never supposed to be built. So like the Tower of Babel, it was always destined to crumble. But they don't want to acknowledge that part, or they forget or fail to realize that part. So when it starts to crumble, they get into this tantrum instead of acknowledging, oh, okay, well, yeah, here's that tower moment where justice is served, because I really wasn't supposed to be doing that in the first place. It's, no, I spent all that time and money and energy stealing from someone else, and now it's crumbling. Boo-hoo. That's what it is. That's what they're doing. That's why. Cry me a river. Cry me a river, no, no, no. You don't have to say what you did. I already know. So save that shit, bitch. There is just no chance for you and me. Don't you see? Go on, why don't you cry about it? Thought I'd be confused, or you had me confused with some other. Now it's your turn to cry. There was a message that I got earlier that said, well, two the last couple days for me, don't be so nice. You don't have to be mean, or and you can be kind, but don't be so nice to these karmics. And more specifically, don't let their fake smile or fake crocodile tears or whatever it is. Like, remember what they did. Now they're crying because they're in trouble for doing what they did, but remember that they stole from you. Now they're crying because they're getting karma, but remember that they're getting karma from trying to send death spells or something. You know what I mean? Cry me a river. It's justice. And it's divine retribution. For starters. And remember, the cards were coming out and it said, they want you to suffer so bad. But now that they're realizing that that was not a viable option, and the tables have turned, the script is flipped. Now they want to cry, play the victim. They were all gung-ho to target. They were all happy when they thought that they were having a negative impact on your life, but now that they know they're in trouble for it, they want enough. Okay, so there's that. No, we're trying to send her on that crown chakra attack. There we go. Much better. A lot of these cards look similar. Took me a minute to organize them all back out. Usually I don't let them merge like that. I don't usually take all of them out like that, but this was a big one to do. They'll expose themselves, just hit the floor. They have, like I said. And I documented it every time. So now I can go back through and show where I posted something or said something, and then immediately after she did, and has been doing this every single day that I've been quietly noticing for almost a month now since her account's been, like I just, what's this? Trying to cause you paranoia, it's not working. But they wanted to see you suffer so bad. So like I said, boo-hoo, cry me a river. Now they feel like, oh, feel bad for me. I'm in trouble for the consequences of my actions. Well, girl, half an hour ago you wanted to see us suffer so bad because our God-given abilities irritate you. So, no. There's no sympathy for you. Like, Not on that. So I think we're going to put these here. Do this one. And this one. Put that one back. Okay. So let's start with this one. How do we open this one? I would like to see what spell work has she been sending. First and foremost. Polymorph. I mentioned that last night. I heard, I think in a reading last night or the night before, Animorphs or something, and I picked up a karmic shapeshifter energy. Yeah. There's that. Then there's, locate animals or plants. And I've been picking up that they were trying to do. So the battery needs to charge. But another card fell out, detect magic. So they did not, this people did not want me to know that they were sending spell work, but 4 blank cards came out, meaning it doesn't matter what they wanted or what they sent. I have been strong enough to clear it out. And also, I do still intend to do the Reiki 3422. I mentioned that I would do it last night, but the readings, a few things got very long, and I didn't end the majority of them. They either crashed or karmic interference played out. So I'm still going to do that, and I never simply forgot, and I never intended not to do those things. I'm here, but this has been the same energy over the course of a few days. And so each day was kind of a continuance of the last. Now that we're closing up the end of that, I will hit it with that Reiki that I mentioned in the beginning. I didn't expect it to take this many readings or this long. I really tried with the interference. And I also noticed, well, of course we're in Mercury retrograde shift, but I did also, or we're shifting into one, notice that another reader the other day noticed the Wi-Fi being an issue with others. This was in different states, and this person was also picking up that there was a karmic interference energy, and that was correct. Somebody asks who her name is. Allison. I think it was a title or something I saw pop up, but her name is Allison. Okay. Let's do this one. Anything else you want to tell me about the spell work that this person has been sending, these people have been sending? Take showers, spring showers wash over you, revealing a decision awaiting its flowers. So good choices come to bloom, but also their karma is coming too. Oh dear. Come bite them in the behind. And well, you're in my tea corner over here, honey. Yeah, that's tea over there. All these are full of tea over here. That's not sugar. Tea party. All right, they try to mess up your foundation and your growth terrarium. It is the foundations weaved with mindfulness that will long sustain you. Trying to mess up your finances, your foundation. There's nothing like the medicine that comes from the ritual of yourself. Trying to disrupt your peace, your, oh, interesting, self-care as well as routine. And I noticed a few things. Look, that looks like two things to me. She's also got flowers in her hair, tea in the tea corner. But this looks like a fleur-de-lis, kind of. It also looks like the symbol for Demeter as the goddess of harvest. It's giving Virgo. So with her little fairy ears and flowers in her crown. For starters, spring hike. Horizon of possibilities welcomes the curiosity of your soul. But they tried to block that. They did not want people to know what was going on or for me to pick up what was going down. Hair. There's magic in the balance of all that we are. So there was a reference also of slow down earlier, and that's applicable for some where things need to slow down and just have the space to rest. But on the flip side, where these people were trying to hold up others and block them, those are being released. Those blocks are being released. Floromancy just came out as well. Be still and pave the way for all that you've desired. There's a reference of rose. I used rose oil yesterday. Garden party. Embrace the coming of things worth celebrating. So they tried to block rainbow. Take a breath. Be still in your heart. And believe that dreams come true. They tried to block the love, the money, the self-belief, the everything for the light workers. I hear, I didn't want you to have nothing. It's anything. You can't even speak a proper sentence. You thought you could plagiarize from me. It's very ghetto. I didn't want you to have nothing. Well, you know what I want you to have? A grammar lesson. A good one. And a reality check. Wedding in reverse. Yeah, I told you. They wanted to block the lovers. Obedience. Yeah, it's giving Joan of Arc, though. That was a bad idea, honey. That was a no. And then this lovers. This is either somebody who... oh, where was it? I just lost the card somewhere. But I saw it. Wedding. There it is. Wedding. Okay. In reverse, though. So they tried to block the lovers. And then I also just saw loneliness. And some of these karmics may have been trying to block the twins from coming together because they felt like their relationships had crumbled or fallen or something. But no, and the Joan of Arc reference came out yesterday too. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I mentioned, yeah, okay, Joan of Arc, hello, past life regression. Don't bark up my tree. I was Joan of Arc. And she immediately went on and made a community post right after I posted that video and said, I'm picking up that there's going to be an exposure. Somebody's going to come out and tell people what past life people that they were. I'm like, ma'am, I know you just watched my video and now you're just recapping the 3-hour video that I did in a poorly composed paragraph in your community board. That's embarrassing for you. And I've seen you do it every single day, multiple times a day for 2-3 weeks. Not that I look, but she's clocking me so much and copying me so much, it's forcing its way into my algorithm. So I screenshot it and move on and tell YouTube not to send me the content, but I've been documenting. And it's still popping up because she's still stalking. Steady lurking. So she's being sat down. Like I said, the blockages are being released. This is old haggard energy. Wedding in reverse. This is not somebody who will end up in a happy relationship because all they've been trying to do is be gluttonous and disturbing towards other people in their lives and their relationships. And you're giving bad advice to people who need it, who need good advice the most, or who need some kind of advice. Fighting. Yeah, this is a toxic, hostile person. Now, I'm self-admittedly having to stand in a defense mode, but there's a difference. Fighting, wedding, They wanted to create conflict so the lovers wouldn't come together. Isn't that sad? Divine Masculine says, and then the womb magic? Yeah, that's messed up. Divine Masculine says, have they been sending like magic at my... I'm just gonna call it like I heard it. Have they been sending magic at my balls? Meaning like he's asking, have they been sending fertility magic at me too to try to make my swimmers unswimmable? And I'm not picking that up. And he's wondering why. Probably what I'm picking up is because the baby grows in the Divine Feminine's belly. There's something about, it's not to discredit him, but I think they're more angry or jealous and fixated on hurting the Divine Feminine. I also think that they know that trying to hurt the Divine Feminine will hurt the Divine Masculine. So it's like a two birds with one stone. I hear that's what it is too. Because they're each other, right? The twins, they're reflections of each other. So if you do one to one, it hits the other. Hello. That's what they wanted to do anyway. And, or that's what they thought. That's what they were trying. But I would say because while it takes two parts, right? The sperm and the egg. And so there are two people in that. There's something about the creation of the child, or more specifically how it's carried in the mom's belly. It's something about a portal. It's like they're seeing the mother's womb as a portal. And it really is. Women, they have the ability to bring a spirit from physical form, or from energetic form into physical form. They hold a growing vessel for a newborn spirit to come through. Right? A woman's body has the capacity to create basically a car for a spirit, a baby's body. It's not the woman that creates the spirit. It's either some kind of dark energy in some cases when you have possession, or more specifically, it's a God chosen, God blessed contract. However, in this case, it's the woman and her belly and that whole sacral solar plexus area that holds the baby in it, and then allows this child to go from the spirit realm to come into and anchor into this baby's body in her belly, and then come out into the world as a portal. The woman's body is being used as a portal to bring a spirit to the earth plane. And so I think that's why. Yes, there's a sperm aspect to it, right? Can't make a baby without sperm. But there's something about the womb being a portal that they're trying to attack. And also, like, imagine Divine Masculine, some of them were having a creative block or writer's block, and then when they cross paths with their Divine Feminine at all or again, that broke. They got these muses of inspiration through her and all this different stuff. But again, that's that solar plexus sacral creation energy. So you see where they're trying to come with that and hit it from all angles too, for starters. It's not that he's less important, but there's an emphasis on how that womb energy impacts everything, from the children, from her manifestations to the Divine Masculine. And like, and even, oh look, a monitoring spirit. And you know what it's climbing on, this monitoring spirit? Me. Because these karmics are obsessed with me. Look. You little shit. Beetle. Isis, Alto. And it's alive. It was just crawling. It's trying to play dead now. It's a reference of these karmics, so. Watch. Mm-hmm. No. Out in the snow you go. I called that earlier too, the monitoring spirit thing. I mentioned it, and also the card came out. How did you see that in the dark? Because I noticed I picked up the energy. I looked up. You noticed that in a bug? It wasn't about the bug. Yes and no. It wasn't about the bug. It was about the karmic spirit that was in it. They try to use those things. It's a witch thing. It's why they were trying to target the animals. Because they're trying to use little creatures as witches, familiars, and things to spy and try to do dark magic and stuff with. So they just automatically assumed that I look at my cats as if they were witches, familiars. I never claimed I was a witch. You did. But I don't. They're my pets, but even beyond that, I don't even really like to use that term. I perceive them more like my children than anything else. 4922. So, there's that. We're going to check, just speaking of, since I'm wrapping this up, and going to go get some sleep. My ancestors just came out. I love you guys. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work. Doctors, some of these karmics are going to be sick, buying in reverse, falling in reverse. They already fell. They're sick and they're hurt. For trying to create mountains for other people. Shouting, trying to be louder than other people. And if it's not in volume, it's in energy. Like they tried to outdo or outshow people. Or let's say somebody speaks up and says, hey, that person's stealing from me and slandering me. They try to be more obtrusive with their attempt to minimize the truth. So a victim says, hey, this person's hurting me or stealing from me, and then the criminal goes around trying to create this whole facade and big smear campaign just to cover up their crimes, just to cover up their offenses. Even though the truth is the truth and it's still the truth, they're trying to create a bunch of bigger, flashier lies so that people don't pay attention to the truth. So even if the volume, it's not about actual volume, they're trying to make those flashy lies much more attention drawing and louder, so to speak, than the truth. But the truth speaks all by itself. It doesn't need any bells or whistles, for starters, nor glitter. I just heard or shoe polish. Interesting. Anything else? This one. 52:14. I'm so ready for bed. It's 2:13 here on the East Coast. Snowball. Things are about to go really downhill for them. I picked that up. One of these karmics I had to call out in the last today is crying now. One of them will be crying tomorrow. Who's laughing now? Shooting star in reverse. split directions. They don't know which way to go. In fact, they don't have any options and no directions to go. They're stuck. Television unplugged. They've got nothing to distract themselves. There are no distractions, and snowballing. Everything's snowballing. Their karma's snowballing. I picked up something tomorrow. There's something about a karmic. Something at their job is going to go wrong tomorrow. And it's karma for trying to mess with me and mine and my collective here. And they're going to figure out pretty quickly tomorrow exactly. They're going to remember and realize that whatever they're dealing with tomorrow is a reflection of what they did to me. It's karma for that. I picked up a local's actually been hitting that point too. One of the cult witches here. Cell phone battery and blank canvas. Yeah, so it's about charging. Oh, look, as you're on the charger, as I've got you on the charger, right? With blank canvas, healing, regeneration, and the blank cards came out. Why? Because you can't do spell work to control me or my life. It's not your business, mind your own. That's my free will you're trying to beat on. Oh, what did I say also? I heard shoe polish, didn't I? Told you. Stone in your shoe. These people were like blisters on your feet, rocks in your shoe, just and unnecessary, painful, and abrasive, sharp border in reverse. Yeah, they had no respect for people's boundaries. They created a roller coaster out of people's lives with these tumultuous emotions and behaviors. And they tried, hair taking a nap. Well, turtle needs a rest. They tried to rush around and snatch people's destiny, and it's not how that works. Flower booths, there's a divine love coming through. I know this is very traditional and stereotypical. Gift giver as a love language, like that might be a teddy bear. Yeah, this is giving. Hey, let me show up and love you. Let's go on a date. Sergeant. Okay, so there's protection energy. He's coming through as a protector, or in other cases, I was having a chat with my ancestor, one of them. That's in fact why I said what I said out loud. Oh, thank you. I love you. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. That was that conversation actually with him. So this just jumped out, and that's why. You know why? Because he was the state trooper. He was in charge of the Main Division for 22 years. He worked at one of the local police departments in the next town over too, and would never have let happen what happened to me or my daughter. In fact, he's quite upset about it and has been allying. Yeah, he says, I never lost my gifts. Uncle Bud, my Uncle Bud. Dude, let me tell you something about him. Thanksgivings, he was always very stoic. He kind of sat in the back of a room, very kind of not cold, but yeah, like pulled back, reserved. Now as an adult, that was as a child observing him. As an adult, understanding that he was a state trooper and a military veteran, oh, that shit makes way more sense. Way more sense. He was reserved. It's that very stoic military kind of almost gruffness, but he had a heart underneath. He had a soft heart, but he was also very, very rigid and stoic. If you know, you know. And that makes a lot more sense now. All right. Somebody says, I didn't even know you had military ancestors up here. Yeah, my husband's dad still helps out too. They're both military? Yeah, and guess what? So is my grandfather. And he helps out too. And I never even met him. He died before I was born. But I was smelling him, and I was picking some stuff up, and I was picking up a military connection with an ancestor, like a grandfather, and I didn't know what they were talking about, but I asked my mom, and she said that how I described him, which was that he was he was very sweet, very sensitive and soft. Like you wouldn't expect him to be a soldier because of his energy, but he is. That's what I'm picking up. Like somebody who would never want to hurt anybody, but he went to war, so obviously if it came down to protecting to serve, he would. But he's just not. He would prefer nonviolence. He would prefer just peace and love. And I didn't meet him because he was gone before I was born, but my mom said that that's exactly how he was. And knowing who he married, which was my gram, she was this very sweet, church-going, really good home cook. In fact, I think that's what was part of the inspiration for my grandfather going to business school, putting himself through business school, my other grandfather, putting himself through business school and